Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3. We will presentation about improving biological agents and host plants resistance to pathogens for plants control. Before that, we want to say thank you to our lecturer, Miss Ita. Next. Before that, let us introduce ourselves. First, my name is Sabrina Hairunisa with last student number 041.
My name is Rahma Fitriyanti. My last study number 044.
My name is Nima Salazamri with the last student number is 084.
Okay, my name is Hafid Rizal and my last study number is 092.
My name is Muhammad Atif Fadila with last study number 093.
First, for our topic is what is biological agents? Biological agents are organisms used to control pest population. Example includes parasitoid, predators, and entomopathogens. Biological agents needs to improve in order to survive in changing environmental conditions. These environmentals can also increase the effectiveness of biological agents in pathogens control. Next. How to improve biological agents? There are three methods. First, isolate rejuvenation. In order to keep the isolate active and effective, it is necessary to rejuvenate them periodically. This process involves replanting the isolate on a stable growth medium to maintain its viability and biological activity. Second, the use of refugia plants. Refugia plants are various types of plants that can live and provide natural enemies such as predator and parasitoid as microbites. The aim is to control pests naturally. The third one is addition of organic materials. Adding organic materials to the soil can improve soil health and support the presence of biological agents. The ideal organic matters content in soil is around 5%.
Next is the host plants. Host plants are plants that provide food or shelter for other organisms, such as pests, pathogens, or parasitic weeds. Host plants provide a source of food and shelter for pests, pathogens, parasites, and weeds. Host plants have various self-defense mechanisms to fight pest attacks, such as genetic resistance that produce toxic chemical or inhibits pest growth. Physical defenses in the form of thorn or fur, and the ability to attract natural enemies of pests. One of the main purposes of farmer using host plants is to manage pest population naturally. And the next is how the plants defend themselves from pathogens. The first one is structural defense. Structural properties in plants that serve a physical barrier and will inhibit pathogens from entering and spreading within plant cells, such as waxy coatings and downy hairs, prevent the formation of a water film and prevent pathogens from germinating and multiplying. The cuticle covering the epidermal cells prevents direct penetration. The cell wall is composed of cellulose that binds strongly with hemicellulose and lignin, inhibiting the infection of the process.
Okay, next is biochemical defense. Pathogen inhibiting compounds that are formed upon pathogen attack are called phytoalexins. Phytoalexins are produced by healthy cells adjacent to the necrotic cells to prevent pathogens from developing. Plant resistant to pathogen is charter that is regulated by a gene or several genes contained in the plant's genome and is an innate trait. Plant varieties that do not have resistant genes. Certainly do not have resistant charters. Then the last one, namely systemic resistance. Systemic resistance is a defense response that is systemic, meaning that once a plant is infected by a pathogen, all parts of the plant can become more resistant to future infection by other pathogens. Salicylic acid is synthesized around the affected site and as a signal that triggers systemic resistance. When the plant is resistant to pathogen infection, it can increase resistance for the next attack. The signals sent when the plant is infected with pathogens act as immunity in the plant.
I will introduce you a little to the journals entitled Mode of Action of Microbial Biological Control against Plant Disease, Relevance Beyond Efficiency, was written by Jürgen Kohl, Roger Kolnar, and William J. Ravensburg. Okay, next slide is about the introduction about the journal. So MBCA is an abbreviation for Microbial Biological Control Agent, which is a microbial-based biological control agent used to control plant disease. Beneficial microorganisms are selected for their effectiveness against pathogens and can be propagated on artificial media. Application of this must produce antagonistic microorganism called augmentative biocontrol is carried out one or more times during the growing season. MBCA protect plant through various mechanisms, including introduction and stimulation of resistance. Plants are induced to have stronger resistance to infection without direct interaction with the pathogen. And the second one is competition for nutrient and space. Microorganism compete with pathogens. And the last one is direct interaction with pathogens. Through hyperparasitism, which destroy pathogen structure such as mycelium, spores, and bacterial cells, or by antibiosis through the production of antimicrobial metabolism.
Next is MBA interaction that divided into two. That is indirect interaction and direct interaction. For indirect interaction, for the definition is termination and growth of plant pathogens depend on nutrient uptake with obligate eutrophic pathogen relying entirely of nutrient from living host cell, whereas necrotrophic pathogens kill plant tissue before using it as a nutrient source. To control pathogen biologically, microorganisms with high competitive abilities can be used. They consume essential nutrients such as carbohydrate and nitrogen so that pathogen cannot thrive. And an example of this strategy is protecting wood on fruit from pathogen infection by using fast colonizing yeast, such as Picea guillermondi. Additionally, microorganisms can produce cytophores to compete for iron, which is essential for microbial growth. And the direct interaction, hyperparasitism. Okay, okay. And other interaction is direct interaction. Firstly is hyperparasitism. Hyperparasitism is a direct competitive interaction between two organisms in which one organism obtains nutrients from other organism that is also a parasite. This interaction often occurs between fungi, although is rarely found in bacteria. One example of bacteria involved in hyperparasitism is the Vibrio bacteriophorus, which preys on other gram-negative bacteria, including 10 pathogenic bacteria. Research suggests that hyperparasitism can be used for biological control of pathogens, although the challenge in mass production of hyperparasites are difficult to overcome, especially for eutrophic mycoparasites. The enzymes involved in this process are highly specific, sensitive to denaturation, and enzyme production occurs only in small quantities and is limited to interaction with the host. This keeps the toxicological and ecotoxicological risks low. And one more is antibiosis by antimicrobial metabolites. Antimicrobial metabolites are organic compound produced by microorganisms, which can inhibit the growth or metabolic activity of other microorganisms. These metabolites are produced in small amounts by microorganisms such as Actinomyces bacteria and fungi, with many antibiotic produced by specific species of these microorganisms. However, the majority of antibiotics produced in the natural environment remain unknown. Research shows that antibiotics produced by microorganisms not only have antimicrobial properties, but also play an important role in the interaction of microorganisms in the natural environment. Overall, although the production of antimicrobial metabolites by antagonistic microorganisms has potential as a biological control method, there is a risk of pathogen resistance to these metabolite. And there is a table of modes of action in relation to development and use of microbial biological control agents. We can look that is mode of action. This is induced resistant competition, hyperparasitism, antimicrobial metabolic process in situ, antimicrobial metabolic in products, hyperstain, assemble consortia, combining different modes of action, and modulation of indigenous microbiota. There you can look. The risk of resistance is majority low, and there is numerous of dependency of environmental condition, high, moderate, and the weather also a ton of use of distributor and end user with majority knowledge transfer needed. And next, table 2 is modes of action in relation to risk assessment and registration of microbial biological control again. agents. So, yeah, you can read it.
Okay, that's all the presentation from group 3. If you guys have any question or comments, please comment below. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.